If you're at the point where you disputed inaccuracies on your credit report and it came back verified as accurate from the credit bureaus, then this is a video that you want to watch because we're going to go over another dispute tactic that you should be aware of, especially right now after a sort of recent lawsuit, Spokeo Inc. versus Robbins, and how this has changed your ability to sue the bureaus based on those inaccuracies. So the first thing that you need to be aware of is that you need to be logging all the harm, quote unquote, harm and injury that these inaccuracies they're reporting causing you. Okay. So I'm going to give you a little bit of flow. We're going to go over some of this, the Supreme Court decision. And as part of the flow, you're also going to see the inverted dispute reason pyramid that we have kind of gone over before in other videos. So first of all, we're calling this one proving harm. But so you sent out a dispute and it came back verified as accurate. Now what? Well, you're going to request an investigation, but it's going to be a reinvestigation, and you're going to choose a new dispute reason, and that's going to be based off of your biggest ammo, right? Date last active, date last paid, notice of dispute, charge-offs, monthly payments, blah, 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 right? Okay, so here's the deal. The way that you want to write this is, and it doesn't have to be verbatim, but I'm requesting a reinvestigation of this inaccurate information because you did not correct or remove per FCRA, and there's a word that's missing here, regulations, all right? Now, your second one is going to be an independent investigation and next dispute reason. And again, you're choosing your dispute reason based off your biggest ammo. Okay, so you could say something like, I don't believe you've done an independent investigation and are only forwarding me the quote unquote results the furnisher provided to you without going beyond the original source of info after a request for reinvestigation. Because of this, I'm requesting removal of this inaccurate information immediately, and I've logged this as negligence. Now, here's why this is important. If we go over to the Supreme Court decision, I've highlighted a couple of things, but if Spokeo sounds familiar, it's because I'm referring to the website spokeo.com, where you can go and search people and find out all sorts of stuff, like they're married, they make a lot of money, they have kids, their previous phone numbers, so on and so forth. Well, Robbins sued Spokeo, and the whole thing is that before Spokeo, Spokeo Inc. versus Robbins, most courts held that an individual whose rights under the FCRA had been violated has suffered an injury in fact and had Article 3 standing to sue in federal court, regardless of whether the plaintiff saw actual damages. However, here's the important part. Post Spokeo, where the plaintiff doesn't seek actual damages, but instead statutory damages for willful violations, practitioners should be ready to address the issue of Article 3 standing, which is injury. Okay. Article 3 standing has three elements. The plaintiff must have one, suffered an injury, and that's the part that they're talking about. Two, that it's fairly traceable to the challenged conduct of the defendant, and three, likely to be redressed by a favorable judicial decision. Okay, so in other words, you need to be able to prove that these inaccuracies harmed you. They harmed you. Now, in Spokeo versus Robbins, the whole thing is that on Spokeo, it was basically putting the defendant in a more positive light. It said that they were older, married with children, employed, relatively affluent, so on and so forth, right? So that's something that is like, okay, well, yeah, go ahead and, say that about me instead of being single and unemployed, obviously, right? So he lost, he or she, whatever. They lost, okay? So obviously, there's no injury there, but because of this, now this is being used to prove that, hey, yeah, this stuff is inaccurate, but here's the thing. It doesn't matter that it's inaccurate. It didn't do anything to you. So when you're going and you're writing your disputes, one of the things that you're going to want to do is list the actual harm or injury that these inaccuracies have caused you. Did you lose your job because they pulled your credit? Are you not able to get a better job because of your credit? Are you, riding the bus because you can't get a car because of the inaccuracies that are on your credit, so on and so forth. So what you want to do is when you're writing your disputes, not only are you asking for an actual reinvestigation and, using your next dispute reasons, but you're going to start putting in the way that their negligence or their failure to do this, that, and the third, like, actually delete because of said inaccuracies, is causing you to have injury or harm. All right. So that's the entire point behind this. And again, if you haven't seen the inverted dispute reasoning pyramid, this is actually from one of my most recent videos, as well as a couple of different ones on the inverted pyramid method and the pyramid method. All right. So I think we're just going to end that here, but I'm going to post a link to Spokeo versus Robin so that you can check this out. This is from the NCLC Digital Library, and there's a lot of important stuff on there. So if you are in the credit repair business, you definitely should be checking out the new decisions in that library. A little bit costly, but it can change the way that you dispute. So I hope you have a great weekend. Please take care of yourself. Please be safe. And I hope you have a great weekend. Bye.